Hi guys, so my name's Elliot Harlin Bethel and I have just finished my last meal of 2019. I spent over a third of this year fasting from food, and I actually enjoyed it because of the self-knowledge and the experiences and everything that I gained from the experience. It was so much mental clarity, so much more knowledge of my physical body. And I have been a gym goer and what I'd like to call someone who thought they knew about nutrition up until 3 years ago. And one of my biggest lessons that I learned this year in particular is how much of a creator we actually are in ourselves. I was shown in so many different levels and so many different ways how the causes had affected my life, and how in essence you can't predict the future because the future is unknown. But if you learn to read the causes, you can see the effects, and then you can predict what's going to happen because it's not already decided, but you can create it yourself, because you can cause, with the thoughts and the things you say and the things you do, the effects that then create your future. So one of the things I really wanted to sort of get on video for myself this year, and one of the biggest things that I've learned, is that we are such powerful creators, and industries know this, that as a consumer audience, if we are made to believe in something, then it works for us. So when I was told that if I ate a lot of meat, and I was eating 2 chickens a day at one point, I would get stronger and I would grow and get more muscles, I did that and I got stronger and I grew more muscles. And I had an argument with a friend 4 or 5 years ago about how we was designed to eat meat and how veganism wasn't right. And I fell out with this person, and I actually went vegan 2 years ago. And then I started to discover that I was actually stronger and more flexible than what I was when I was eating meat, because my beliefs changed over to this. And I've actually made a video on how a lot of friends of mine that didn't believe you could be vegan and go to the gym have now watched the Game Changers film, and they've all switched over to being vegan, and they're all just as strong but mentally healthier. And it's because their belief system has shifted from thinking they needed to eat meat to now believing that they can go vegan. Well, what I'm here to say is that I did a third of this year without eating food. I did 7 times 7 days hard dry, no food, no water. I did 14 days with no food and no water. I did 20 days just water, and I did 40 days with just water and fruit juices and vegetable juices. And what I discovered was that the intentions that I put into these things, the intention that I put into water, was predominantly as valuable as the nutrition that I thought was in the food. Now, Masaru Emoto, who'd done a study on water and the effects of sound on water and the effects of sound on rice in a jar, discovered that if you write things on the side of the jar and you speak things to whatever in the jar, or you play music to whatever's in the jar, it has an effect on the subatomic structure of whatever's in the jar. Now, interestingly enough, we put labels on all of our food. We put labels on all of our drinks. And on the labels, it tells us it has this amount of nutrients, and it has this amount of carbs, and it has this amount of fats. Now, by putting that label onto that product, you're actually changing the subatomic structure of it, because you change your beliefs of what is inside it. So what I started to do was I started to buy a big 5-litre tubs of water, and I'd take all the plastics off of it, and I'd write my own intentions onto the water. I'd also play that water certain frequencies, certain healing frequencies, and I'd put intentions into it by stirring it with a spoon. Now, to some of you, this is going to sound like I've gone completely balmy or completely bonkers, but your body's 72% water, and your body can be affected and your emotions change. If I was to use certain language with you and use certain positive words like beautiful, magical, lovely, and this is proven if you watch the rice test by Masaru Emoto. He took 3 jars of rice and he spoke to them one of them lovingly. You're beautiful, I love you, I'm going to take care of you. And he spoke horrible to one of them. I fucking hate you, die. And after a 3-month period, the one he spoke negatively to had gone completely mouldy. And the one that he had spoken nicely to looked like it was still fresh. Now, your body is 72% water. And if I go and speak negatively to someone, it has an effect on their vibration. Their vibration goes down. And when your vibration goes down, if you don't know how to switch this, then your day will continue to go that way. But if you know how to step away from that emotion and you know how to change it and turn it around, then your day can go upwards. And in some of my talks, I use the expression, when you get out of bed, if you hit your foot and you go, oh, fuck it, it's going to be one of those days, it's going to be one of those days because you set yourself on that vibration. If you get out of bed and you hit your foot and you go, that's the worst thing that can happen today, the day's only going to get better from here, you've just split 2 timelines and you've got into a high vibration. And genuinely, when things are going well, things go well. And when things go bad, they go bad. But this is all just you stepping away from observing that emotion and deciding how you want to perceive it, because perception is everything. You can perceive things from so many different levels. As I said earlier in one of my other talks, I've done speeches in front of, say, 150 people, and I've talked about an experience I've had. And at the end of my talk, I've had 3 people come up to me and mention one of those experiences and told me how what I talked about had a profound resonation with them. But each person's perception of it was different from what I even actually meant it to be. But each person heard it from their level of perception in the way they needed to hear it. So perception is a very, very powerful thing. If you can take something that's happened to you and you can step back from it for a second without reacting, because the second you react to it, you put emotion into it. And the second you put emotion into it, you put energy into motion. So if something negative happens to you and you react to it, you have then put fuel onto that fire and more of that's going to happen. Whereas if something negative happens to you and you step back to it and go, oh, I'm not going to react to that. I'm going to think about that for a minute. That's happened because of this and it needed to happen. And now I've seen the lesson from it. Thank you. Goodbye. You've actually turned that into something that was a lesson. It's a positive, and now you've learned from it. And it's like you've ticked off something, put it to the side, and now you've progressed. You've ascended. You have evolved slightly. So I'm going to start a hashtag next year, and it's evolution in motion. So it's that every day or every night before you go to bed, you write down 10 positive things or 10 things you're grateful for, and you put them under your pillow or you put them above your bed. And you read them the last thing before you go to bed, because this is really important, because the 10 minutes or 20 minutes before you go to bed is when your conscious mind starts to drift off to sleep and your subconscious comes in, and it's almost like it starts mapping your day out for the next day. So your subconscious mind's very, very powerful. Some people see it as the higher self. Some people see it as the creative side. Neville Goddard sees it as the feminine side. So the conscious side is the masculine side and the subconscious is the feminine. So the masculine side impregnates the female side, and then the female side objectifies it. So your thought gets objectified by the subconscious. The next day it maps it out for you, and then you read it again first thing in the morning because it raises your vibration. It's the positive things. It starts your day off on a high vibration. And when you start on a high vibration, you then start to see the synchronicities that are put into your path, that have been mapped out by your subconscious, that leads you into what you want. So if you've written down, today I want to do this, today I need to find £500, and I've done this so many times now and it works all of the time. So I want to find this. You'll gradually get little breadcrumbs that lead you to that, as long as you're awake and aware enough and conscious enough of the things that are being laid out for you. So that's my biggest tip for 2019/2020. As I said, I've just had my last meal, which was going to be for 365 days, but I'm being guided and I feel very, very excited about taking the 3 days before 2020 begins and not having any foreign energies within my body. So I'm going to be taking the 3 days before, and I'm going to be hard dry fasting, which is no food, no water, and no contact with water. And funny enough, a lot of the people around me at the moment I had a conversation with 3 friends today, and they all feel guided to do similar things. So it's definitely something that's in the collective at the moment. And then I'm going to do 4 days hard dry into 2020. So that's 7 days hard dry fasting into 2020. in total, that would have been 368 days. So I've rounded that up to 369 because 369 has been such a positive and powerful number for me this year. Discovering about 369 and the whole Nikola Tesla, and if you find the meanings behind these numbers. And I've done a lot of research into ancient scriptures and emerald tablets and numeral leash and the tablets of Kish and the Bible and the Quran this year, and I found so many positive things that all of these books were actually written as roadmaps, that if you implement these certain things into your life, then things just start to happen for you. And the more I've discovered these things, the more people have come into my life that have also spotted these things. So it's a very, very powerful year energetically. I've made a prediction. I've already seen that self-healing is something that's happened wide scale this year. I've seen so many people heal themselves by doing the energy work this year, by going inside and meditating and focusing on themselves and following their intuition and their gut feelings and clearing any energy blockages that they have. Now, some people, I've always said that I see science and religion as two sides of the same coin. So if somebody sees something as a demon or an angel, you can also see that as a positive or negative energy. So when I say they've cleared all their energy blockages, some people might say they've removed all the demons from their body. But I'm going to say to you, whatever way you want to look at it is fine. It's your perception. Inevitably, it's your reality, and you can create whatever you want to create. We're born into a world of duality, and we're born into a world of duality so that we can experience what we want. Masculine, feminine, positive, negative, yin, yang, dark, light. We're here to experience all these things, because what might be enjoyable or positive for me might not be enjoyable or positive for you. So you're here to decide what is positive and what you want to embody, and inevitably what you want to create to be your ideal reality. Because when you embody these things and you know that that's not what I want, that's not what I want, this is what I want, I'm going to embody this, I'm going to palm that off, I'm going to embody this, you're choosing that. You're creating a personality, and when you create that personality, you create your personal reality, and that becomes your reality, and that becomes your own heaven. So we can create our own ideal situations. I'm going to be doing a lot more talks this year, so I'm going to try and do 2 talks a month, and I'm going to be doing 1 workshop every month as well. Some workshops are going to be on fasting, some are going to be on law of attraction, some are going to be on various other things. But I'll be putting out some lists soon. And this is probably the last video which is going to be quite poorly edited or just flowing all the way through, because I'm going to start editing them a little bit more now, and I've got somebody who's helping me with editing. So I've been very, very grateful in that everything that I've been looking for has all of a sudden started to come to me. So this year's been a very, very big year for personal development for me. It's been a great year for attracting people into my life that are on the same level as me, energetically, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I would just like to say thank you 2019, and thank you for everybody who came into my life and everybody who left my life. You all played a massive part in it, and I'm really looking forward to creating a lot of new things and helping a lot of people realize their true potential. So yeah, this is probably me signing off until 2020 now. So I hope you all have a really, really good transition into 2020. And I hope you all had a really, really good Christmas. And if you're watching this, thank you for watching it. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.